Hey, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to disassemble a ps4 controller and reassemble it again. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so what you guys are going to want to do first is unscrew these 4 bolts with a small screwdriver that will fit. And you want to make a pile of screws here because there's going to be a total of 5 screws. Okay, so now that you got the 4 screws out, you're going to want to open this up and try not to get the triggers off. And then what you want to do is pull this little tab out of that little plug-in thing. Then you're going to pull the battery out and unplug it. Then you're going to take this thing out, put that with the battery. Then you can take the triggers off now. Make sure that you don't lose the little spring or else your trigger won't work. Do the same for the other side. Then you're going to want to unscrew this screw right here. Put it in your pile. Now you're going to want to pull this little tab right here. Then now that you got that tab out, all you're going to do is just pull this thing up. And this is your motherboard. And make sure that you do not break this, because that would be really bad if you broke it. Now you just lift this up very carefully. You got to make sure that this little thing, this little tab is going through there. Then you can usually do this to clean your controller or fix anything that might be broken. So this is, these are the little rotors that like actually make it spin. Mine broke, so, and they're still glued in there, so I won't be able to take those out. Now what you're gonna do next is take this off, then take the buttons out, take this thing out, like that. Then you can also take this out. Then yeah, take the buttons out. Make sure that you know where the buttons go, just in case. So these two are the options in the share button. This is the touchpad. And this is the actual base. So that's how you take it apart. Now, this is how you put it back together. So this is square, so it would go right here. This is X, so it would go right here. Make sure that the little tabs line up with each other. Now this is circle, so it would go right here. Now triangle. Now that we got that one in, we are now gonna put the home button in there. Then we can put this little tab back on there. Like that, so. So now that that's in there, we can put our buttons back in. Now we can put our touchpad back in there. So our touchpad is back in there now. Oh crap. Make sure that the little tab is on the outside. Or the inside, I mean. So that it's free right here. Now we're gonna put this back in here. I would recommend to clean it if you've never cleaned your controller before. Now you're gonna put this one back in here that's not a square, like it looks like this. Now you can put it back in there like that. They're facing the wrong side, so make sure that it's the right side with the black facing up. Okay, now that that one's in place, we can put this one in place now. Make sure that the black little pieces are going through. And then now we got the rubber part in, so we can put this part back in now. So you want to make sure that this little tab is going through the hole. Make sure that everything is lining up. Something isn't lining up. It's not going all the way down like it's supposed to. Okay, I think that we could just put this thing back in here and then it'll be fine. Okay, so yeah, we just had to put this thing back in here. Now what you want to do is you want to get this tab in here. So you got to put this tab, and this little thing right here. It'll take some force. I think I got it. Yep, okay, it's in. Now what we want to do now is put this screw back in so that it stays. What I like to do before putting everything back together is making sure that all the buttons work. So now that we know that all the buttons are pressing down and making that noise, we can go ahead and put the triggers back in. Make sure that you're putting them in the right one. So this is L2, so it would go right here. Now you're gonna wanna make sure that the spring is pressing up and make sure that the spring is going in there right. So as you can see, the spring right here is lined up. Now we can go ahead and push it back in. There, now it's in and the spring works. And for R2, the spring actually isn't in there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna line the holes up. Then we're gonna have it pushing down like that. Now we're gonna line it up again. So we're gonna line it up. Oh, it fell. So we're gonna line it up with that little slot right there. There, now that it's in its slot, we can go ahead and push it back. Wait. It's gotta be in the right position for both of them. So, yeah, we're gonna keep pressure on it so that it can stay in the slot on this. Now we just gotta line it up for the slot on the actual controller. Boom. It's in there now. So yep, now that we have both of the triggers in there, we can go ahead and plug the battery back in. So we wanna put this, we wanna line it up, but I don't actually, mine broke off. So it won't actually like go into anything, but we can plug it in now. And we can put this, the back on it now. So we just want to make sure that it's lining up good with the ribbons. So we're just gonna go ahead and put it in there. Alright, so I'm gonna turn it on, and if the light goes on, then we'll know that it's actually plugged in and working. So the light went on, so that means that we're good to go, and everything is working. So now we can go ahead and put the backing back on. Make sure that we line it up with everything. Make sure that the battery doesn't fall out. Put these little things in. Now that it's all lined up, we can go ahead and just put everything back where it was. Make sure that it clicks in. Now we gotta put our screws in. Make sure that the screws line up so you don't ruin the plastic. Yep, we're just screwing everything back together. Now, I got one more screw to go. Now we can put all of our attachments back on. And there you go. That's how you put a controller together and reassemble it. So yep, all the buttons work. And let's go ahead and play a game just to make sure that everything works. So yeah.